Pixar has been around for a long time, but what is its history? Well, today I will answer that very question. So, let's begin. It all started with a computer division team who made CGI for movies like Star Trek. But then they had an idea. They thought, why don't we just make our own little short film made entirely from CG? And so that's what they did. And there, they made their very first short film, The Adventures of Andre and Wally B. And it got really popular. Next, they decided to make another short film called Tin Toy. Meanwhile, Disney hears all the ruckus about a new type of animation style, and they're like, that could make us money. So they buy Pixar and tell them to make a feature film. And that's how Pixar creates Toy Story. And now, Toy Story was very hard, as it was a feature-length film, and they had never done something like this before. So, they had to make a new software called RenderMan. Now, if you don't know what rendering is basically when a computer takes all the information from the lighting and all that, and creates the animation, making it smoother. So basically, it films the movie. Does that make sense? And RenderMan was going to do all that for them because they didn't have time for that. I mean, they've only just made their first feature film. Then in A Bug's Life, a new challenge arose. They had to make bugs look like real bugs, meaning they had to make their skin look smooth and glossy. But still, they couldn't do that because in Toy Story, they didn't master that technique. So they had to make a new form of skill. The skill was being able to make every single character have some sort of smooth-like skin. But even now, they still use this technique. Then in Monsters, Inc., a new challenge arose. Sully. Now, you'd think Sully would be easy to animate, but you would be wrong, as he has millions of hairs on his body, and to make that look realistic, his hairs would have to move. But they couldn't at least animate one hair at a time. That would be incredibly time-consuming. So, they made a new software called FizzT, and in FizzT, it allowed hairs on the body to move with gravity, meaning Sully looked realistic. Then, in Finding Nemo, they went under the sea. And to make the water look realistic, they had to make a new software. I know there's a lot of softwares. To make water look realistic and to also have real light pass it the way it will do in real life. Then, in The Incredibles, they faced their biggest challenge yet. Humans. You see, in all these movies, humans only play minor roles. But in this film, they're the main characters. And so they had to make this new software, wow, there are so many softwares, to create human-like movements so when their arm moved or something, their muscles would move with it like a normal human would. Their next problem arose in cars. So you see, in cars, the cars have a bunch of reflections on them. But how are they going to make this? Well, obviously, they're going to make a new software, because that's what we all want. More softwares. Yippee! Anyway, so this software allows the metal to actually reflect like real metal does, or at least I think that's metal. Then, in Ratatouille, they had to make rats. Now, if you didn't know, they actually had to get a real rat studier who studies rats, so that when they made the movements, it would look like a real rat would. But then, after that, they didn't face many more problems. I mean, they may have had a few bumps in the road, but everything was going smoothly. And they even made some of their highest grossing movies ever, like Incredibles 2 and Toy Story 4. But then comes the Pixar Dark Age, as I like to call it, as nowadays they aren't making as good films. But I'm going to be the first to say it. I disagree. Yep, that's right. I said it. What are you going to do about it? Anyway, so I think that Elemental, which is their newest film, was a great film. And also Inside Out 2 looks spectacular. So I'm sorry, critics, but I don't think Pixar is dying or anything. I mean, I literally talk about it in a short. Oh, wait, what's this? Oh, they're releasing the films from Disney Plus into cinemas? Expecting they're going to make money. Oh.